We have been number one in terms of customer delightedness.
Your team moves 3 million people safely and efficiently every day.
In this 40% lies a big value.
What's the sustainability impact of that operation?
We are now just creating digital twins of our stations.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Industry Spectrum, where we will bring you more excellence from the built environment. Joining me today is Dr. Özgür Soy, who leads Metro Istanbul, one of the largest rail operators in the world. Dr. Özgür, welcome to the show.
My pleasure.
Dr. Özgür, your team moves 3 million people safely and efficiently every day. Help me understand the history, the impact, and the scope of the operations, please.
We are the largest public transport operator in Istanbul. Let's first talk about Istanbul. Istanbul is a historic city, historic gateway between Europe and Asia. And today it's a city of a size of 20 million population. Transportation in such a city is a big challenge. The solution to that, coming from the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, is to develop rail systems more and more. And we are leading the rail systems, all kinds of rail systems, from trams to metros in Istanbul. Now we have around 40% within the integrated public transport system of Istanbul. 12 million people are moving within the city in one day. And today, about 3 million of them are using the metro and tram systems.
Can you speak a bit about the scope of the operation? So the length of the lines, the number of the stations, to give us an understanding of how deep you go within that city.
Now we are one of the top 5 operators in Europe. We can say within a few years we aim to be in the top 3. We plan to surpass Paris in size of metros. We have like 19 different lines. Some of them are metro lines, some tram lines, and also cable cars and funicular systems. We have more than 1,000 vehicles. Every day we like to say that we are traveling around the world several times with our trains, with our vehicles. So it's a really interesting, diverse and complex operation.
How do you source the talent that supports all this growth? And what are some of the priorities that you ask of your team when they're sourcing talent?
Yeah, growth is one of our biggest challenges because at the moment we have like 12 different new constructions going on. We are proudly saying that we are number one in the world in terms of the number of new constructions going on. Only in the last 4 years we have grown in more than 30% in terms of number of stations. So for new stations you need new staff, new maintenance people, and of course getting the talent and also training the talent is a big challenge. We opened the Metro Academy last year to train and develop people.
Any attention to diversity while you were hiring and retaining talent?
Yes, when I started my job 4 years ago, we had around 5% women in the workforce. We have been able to grow this to above 15% in only 4 years. So in the new hires, we are hiring more than 50% women, especially train drivers. We had only 8 train drivers when we started, but today the number is around 300, and they are very, very popular. And it's a big aspiration also for all the women in the country.
Please speak about the digital transformation journey within Metro Istanbul.
We have a big team in developing projects, and in the last years we are always using BIM. We are developing all the new station designs using BIM technology. It is of course like a entry-level digital twin creation, because in the past you have to find the blueprints of a station to make even some maintenance of revision projects. We are entering more and more into digital twins, which is the last stage we are coming to. And of course another thing is the autonomous vehicles. In terms of autonomous vehicles, we have already 3 lines operating with autonomous vehicles, 3 metro lines. We are being a benchmark in this aspect for many years.
Tell us a bit about some of the digital capabilities that you've added and that has delivered value to your business and to your customers.
We have the most delighted passengers in the world. Comet, Community of Metros, is a worldwide organization of the largest metros of the world. They are making a survey every year, and then in the last 3 years we have been number one in terms of customer delightedness. And then we have the operational metrics. We have like 99.7 on-time scheduled trips being realized. And we have in the escalators, elevators, the target of Comet and UITP is around 98.2. We have a very successful R&D department. Now we are developing our own tram vehicle. 34 of them are being produced at the moment. So in terms of customer satisfaction, in terms of being in the forefront of technology development, we are in a very good position.
So I know you've embarked on a digital twin pilot to try and reduce your maintenance cost and have a bigger portion of your cost be in operations. So if you can speak about that pilot a bit, please.
So we are working with Autodesk Tandem. We are now just creating digital twins of our stations. In total, we are managing about 2 million square meters of space. In this space, there are hundreds of thousands of light bulbs, several hundreds heating and air conditioning systems, and so much electromechanical systems. We are number one in the world in the number of escalators and elevators. At the moment, we have more than 2,000 escalators and elevators. Partially thanks to the topography of Istanbul. Some of our stations are really deep, go up to 80, 90 meters deep. So we have a big number of elevators, escalators, and you have to keep them up and running all the time, of course. And also you have to use them in an efficient way, save energy. So when you create digital twins, that means you have a live digital twin of what's actually happening in the real world. So you bring the actual data from the SCADA system to this digital twin, and you can actually walk around in the station and click an electrical board and see what's really happening there. We are managing such a big asset base, and we are using 60% of our time for the operation, for carrying people, and 40% for maintaining the system. And in this 40% lies a big value.
When you're moving 3 million people in a city of 20 million, what's the sustainability impact of that operation on the city of Istanbul?
The first topic is, of course, energy, because saving energy doesn't only mean saving money, but also it brings you further in terms of sustainability. So using digital twins, we aim to achieve 12 to 25% of energy savings. One aspect of this is the stations. We are managing an area of around 2 million square meters, and it's impossible to walk inside these 2 million kilometers every second. But if you have digital twins and if you use technology properly, if you use also in the future we are working on AI, it will be possible to maintain all the systems in a good way. The second part is also the vehicles. If you can schedule the vehicles correctly, and if you work on the speeding profiles of the trains, which we do, we have an R&D project on that, you can save a lot of regenerative energy. When the one train is braking, you can use that energy to power another train. By using this, we already have achieved 30% energy savings in the train operation. Using digitalization and technology correctly in the sustainability aspect, we are already having some results, but we are aiming much more in the future.
I can definitely speak to your team's maturity in terms of their initially BIM maturity and now, the innovative work they're doing with digital twins. And I'm looking forward to seeing it across all of your assets. Dr. Özgür, if you look at the future of the rail industry, what do you see the role of Metro Istanbul is contributing to that role?
Rail systems are very popular in the world. In the past, New York, London, Paris, those were the famous metros in the world. Then came, of course, Moscow and some Chinese cities. But we see also this part of the world is also investing heavily in the metro systems. Metro Istanbul is, of course, firstly an operator of metros. So our first priority is to serve the people of Istanbul, of course. But also we now are also developing projects in other parts of the world, from Africa to Middle East to Eastern Europe. We sometimes act as a consultant. Consultancy can range from developing a maintenance system to digital twins, etc. Now we are starting to act as operators in other parts of the world. So the future of Metro Istanbul will be less in Istanbul, but also in other parts of the world.
Dr. Özgür, it's inspiring to see how your team uses technology to deliver better outcomes to the community and the city. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
This brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.